Well, hello, everybody. I am back with the question of the ages. Can you recycle old Christmas cards? We're about to find out. It's funny, and this happens to all of us. When you're cleaning out clutter, you find stuff. It comes out of the woodwork. And one of the things I found when we dug up out of Steve's room are these Christmas cards that went unsent. So there are 5 of them. They are, squared off. I mean, they are technically perfectly usable, except that the envelopes doesn't fit them. I don't get it. Because this is the card. Hang on, let me grab you one of the envelopes. Because I do not understand what, who was this? Who's the greeting card maker? American Greetings. But that's the envelope for the card. Really, you guys couldn't have the envelopes made the right size? But be that as it may, here's the thing. Yes, I believe these can be recycled. This one, I believe, is a little... There's one of them that has a ding in it, or there's a little ding up here, a little smush, smuts, as I call her, whatever. This one is kind of coming apart. So this one has a dent right here. But they're usable, but I don't want to use them in their current permutation, but I did not want to throw them away because they're nice cards. I mean, we've got the glitter here. This is both flocked and glittered. So I'm thinking, well, let's see if we can make these into a more mailable size, because we also know that when you send them this big, they're gonna the machines aren't meant to process them. It's gonna cost us more just before they're square. So I am going to go ahead and get these down into A2 size. Why? Because I'm crazy. So we're going to make a go of this. So I have pulled out, and not only that, but I'm going to really make it interesting. I have decided that my card backs are going to be black. So I think my idea is to cut this down to make it fit the A2. We're going to put it there, but if I just take a little piece of this and then put that and that, I think it works. I could use, actually, and I do have silver glitter, which would match. So, but I've already cut this down, so I'm sticking to my guns now and just adding a little bit of difference. I mean, really, who's going to notice? If you guys, this will be just between you guys and me. Shh, don't tell anybody, okay? But, so I've got these 4, so I need to cut them down. I'm going to use card backs that I've already pre-cut because I did that in preparation. I've got some white. Why? Because unless I want to write with white ink, and I could, I'm just going to make it easy on myself for stamping, and I'm just going to line the inside of the cards with the white cardstock, and then we can stamp a sentiment, and away we go. So that sounds like a plan? Sounds like a plan to me. So let's, excuse me, let's start off by, we're going to trim off the part of the card that we are not going to use. So let's grab our handy dandy guillotine. And this one, since it's already, it kind of makes it easier. We're going to have to take a look at these in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and cut to the edge of the red. So let's do this one. I'll do one first. So we're going to trim down. So we're going to trim one down. And we are going to kind of wing it as we go. So that goes away. Although that's a perfectly not, I mean, I have Christmas stamps. So we'll find something to put on the outside. I really do like the Believe. So we have this now. I believe it almost is the perfect width. It interestingly enough, because this is 5.5 inches wide. So I've got that down to 5.5 inches. Now the question is centering it. So we're talking 4. So it's 4.25. And this is, how far is this, guys? Okay, let's look at, because we're going to use this trimmer anyway, so I might as well have my measurements. So it is 5.5. So that tells me I need to take 3/4 of an inch off each, 5.5 by 4.25. That's 1.25 inches bigger. So I could just from the get-go start by taking off 1/2 inch. So I'm going to take 1/2 inch off the bottom for the moment. So and this is, I'm totally winging this, okay? So, but then again, I have 4 more. Whoops, this is not, this is going to be a little problematic. What is right here? There's something like right there. There we go. This thing doesn't like to do very thick layers, so I may have to get the caterpillar out. But was there something there? Or just, oh, see? Can you guys see? That's where the glue... So this is done with a glue gun. What? Okay, whatever. So, I've got that down. So, I mean, we are still right. I mean, and actually, I need to cut off a little bit more. But at this point, I don't know if I'm going to take that 1/2 inch. Let's see, because I have that little bit of schmutz right up there. So I'm going to go with, I'm going to have to trim down more. That is the truth of the matter, but I'm only going to take off. See, in this, I'm hitting more glue right there. I'm sure of it. So we're just going to trim that off. There we go. And we're going to ruin our trimmer without a shadow of a doubt. But, you know, so it's still, obviously, I still have a 1/2 inch. I've got to, and that will make it border to border. So I have to take off 3/8 of an inch still. So I'm according to my brain math work, and you know, we'll have to see. So we're going to take off another 1/4 here for sure. Because I want it, I mean, I want it to be even, but more importantly, you know, I want to make sure that there's plenty of space for that believe. So I'm going to now take another 1/4 here. And let's see where this lays out. So, and I am totally winging this, okay, guys? This is not pre-planned outside of that I was going to use my black. These are already pre-cut. So we are now inside. So there we go. We're now in at the same size as the card, but I still want to put my silver. Even if we don't see the black, I still want that silver edging. So that means we got to take a little bit more off, but we're almost, I mean, I feel if I take more off the white, we are going to have, there's not going to be enough space for the believe. And while I want it to look more or less even, I think, do I want to just take the whole, I mean, I've got to take off another 1/4 of an inch off. If I take another 1/4 of an inch, we're talking about right here. We're going to take we're going to go, let's see, maybe we just take the friggin' 1/8 inch off the top and off the bottom and get over myself. So let's go with that. So let's go with 1/8 of an inch here. And make sure that this is more or less straight, because it wasn't, it's like the fold isn't straight. There's a surprise. And let's see if what happens if I come the other 1/8 of an inch. Oh, I think it'll be okay. Even if it's the believe is a little high. I mean, nothing else in the next one, maybe we'll do better or not. We'll see. There we go. Actually, I think it looks okay. What do you guys think? I think it looks okay. So we can now, so now we have edge to edge, and we have that little black edge, but we'll move all of these little scrappies here. So now I know my card size. So ultimately, we reduced it down to 4. So to 4 inches, okay, from the original 5.5. So now we have this. But we need to trim down our little piece of silver. So I know I need this to be, and this, guys, just so you know, this is poster board. This is some of that silver poster board that I bought. This is Hobby Lobby, I think, because the Dollar Tree did not have silver. But this is silver from Hobby Lobby. So I just cut a strip. I just cut a 2-inch strip off. And tell me that's going to match up perfectly. It sure is. So what I'm going to do, I'd rather wait. I mean, at this point, hello, this whole sheet cost me $1.18. So I think I can live with wasting a little bit of this. So I am going to take off. I'm going to cut. Well, I can actually cut 2 1/4-inch strips and still be okay. So let's see. What's the worst that can happen? Is I waste this, because I'm only, so let's see, let's take up before I cut anymore. So this is our card. Let me grab all of these little scraps off. Let's put these cards off. So this is my edging right here. So this is how it's going to be. I'm going to take my little 1/4-inch strip, And if we put it right on the edge of the black doesn't show. And there you go. I can live with that. And I mean, I could make it show if I take off like an 8. I could take off like an 1/8 of an inch off the bottom, and so that I could have a little tiny strip of black and then that little tiny strip of silver. And I think it would locate. So let's do that. So now I'm going to make this even smaller. So but before I do that, let me grab my other, let me go ahead, since I have the silver already loaded in here. Let's go with another 1/4 inch strip. Ah! So, and you know, I'm giving you all these, I'm calling them out loud. I mean, I may put them in the measurements in the description. I probably will, just so you guys, if you have any, those square, you know, square 5.5 inch square cards, you know that you can use, these will be the measurements if you want to get them down to an A2 size. So I still need to, I just cut my other silver, but I have not cut this down, although quite, yeah, I'm going to take an 1/8. I'm literally only going to take an 1/8 of an inch. Let's see. Let's see how this works. You know, it almost makes me sad because I want to, so let's, I mean, really, we could get really cray here and take a little sliver off the top and another little sliver off the back, so it totals that 1/8 inch. I mean, what the heck, right? I mean, this is, at the end of the day, it's a recycled card. So now this is 3 7/8. So now I have my right here, this, and now I have plenty of space when I put these down. So what I'm going to do is, this is the wider side, because remember on these cards, so remember when you're dealing, especially with Hobby Lobby paper, which is what I do a lot of, these cards they're not exactly 8.5 by 11, okay? They are a little off. Can you tell right here, that little, it's like a 1/16 of an inch, or an 1/8, not quite an 1/8, somewhere in between off. I'm letting them stand right now because it gives me a wider front, which is my desire. Now what I'm going to do is grab my glue. I'm just going to use wet glue in this case because I think it'll work better. Now, are you not clogged? I haven't broken this out I haven't crafted in over a week. So yeah, because last week was a bad week for me with fatigue and COVID. This week, I've actually had 2 good days. Today I'm feeling better, at least fatigue-wise, but I'm really having some skin issues that, if you look at me, I'm like all splotchy and red and weird looking, and a lot of dry skin. My hair is like a Brillo pad. And it's just COVID weirdness, guys. So really try not to get it. That's my best advice, because you do not know if you're going to have lingering or not. I mean, I had the strongest case of all of us, but it wasn't like I had it that bad, really. That's like, okay, it wasn't that bad. But here you go. Look at me, lucky one, with all these wackadoodle. The fatigue is a known side effect. That, you know, I knew. I'm not having fun with it, but I knew about it. But it's the skin and the hair thing that has come out of left field that I'm not so having a good time with. Okay, so I'm putting all of these. So I'm going to put this on this side, and then I will add glue on this side. And I think I still have to glue that little panel together, huh? So let me put my little lid on so it stays wet, so I don't have to re-unclog it. And we'll just lay that little strip down right on the edge. Except remember how I said I've gone to all of this rigmarole trouble, and I forgot that I wanted it off the edge, except this one, it can no longer be moved. So there we go. That is my special. Now, hopefully there's enough here that it will cover. Yes, it will. Okay. So I just got to be really careful and not put it on upside down, right? There we go. I'm a dingleberry, but I'm going to do all 4 of them, and I'll show you and the next one, how it's supposed to look like when I get them all done. Such a dork. But this is a quickie. This really is a quickie card. Why? Because I'm not assembling all of it. So I have that. Now what I need to do is glue this together. So I'm just going to take, you know, a nice generous amount of glue here and go right around the edge, including, we'll see how we make work that. I mean, I know I got a little schmutz there, so I don't want to pick it up. But I make sure all the edges are glued down. And then I'm going to hold that down with my hand, press it down while I put the lid obsessively back on. There we go. And that will, and this dries very, very quickly. A little bit longer, but that's okay. And now I am ready to put my little recycled panel on this. So now what do? We go again, ring around the rosy. And go all the way around here with my glue. And then I'm just reminded myself that I need to order more, because what I have in my bottles is what I have left of Bear Lee art. Guys, it's taken me 2 years to go through, the original larger bottle. This one has been refilled multiple times, as the other one has, and the original refill that came. So, I mean, the big one, this little one, I've probably had maybe a year. And of course it came full, but this is the one I really use that. But guys, to go through that, to go through that refill bottle, it took me that long. I got my money's worth. So, I mean, that's all I can say, really. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Bear Lee art. So, now I'm going to lay this down here and try to center it nicely. I'm going to have to do a little bit this way. So, there we, see? The thing about this card I've noticed is that, and this is something, and this is happening to me because the card itself is not squared off. This one that I used is not squared off. So it'll be a little tiny bit cattywampus. And there you go. But here you have it. Now all I have to do is take one of my white panels here. And normally I would tape this in with Big Mama. I have 2 pieces that I'm going to go with one of the smaller ones, and I'm going to save those larger pieces for another project. But now all I have to do, and it doesn't matter, these feel the same on, I don't know why, it's like I always feel like one side's smoother than the other. It's the same flipping piece of paper, for crying out loud. But there you go. Some of us are just totally wackadoodle. And so I just go around the edge first, really, a nice bead so it stays, and you try not to pick it up with your nail. Go all around the edge here. Make sure that it stays in place. And then really all I have to do is that. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to survive the zombie apocalypse. It just got to make it through till Christmas and stay glued together. Oh! And I may save these. I may, donate all of these. I don't know. I haven't decided. Because, I make, when I say, cut 4, make, cut 1, make 4. If you're going to do 1, you might as well make 4 or 5. I've got 5 of them. So, these are, Steve's going to be so pleased when he sees what I did with this. I go, yeah, I'm going to save them. I can do something. And we have another one. And that we found also. They're little polar bears, but I'm going to do that later on. So you'll be seeing those in this month anyway, because I promise you guys Christmas in July big. So this is the beginning of Christmas in July. But there you go. Pretty darn tootin' quickly. So the answer to the question of the ages is, can you recycle a Christmas card and make it, take it and make it better, or in this case, make it into at least where it's not going to kill you to mail it? The answer is yes. So give me a minute. I'm going to put the other ones together and I'll show you what originally was my plan. I'm going to be right back. Alrighty, kids, I am back. I have finished all of the cards. This is obviously the first one. This is the Oops, as I want to call it affectionately, card. This is the one that I took it all the way to the edge. But, hey, nobody's going to know this because y'all are not going to tattle on me, right? Good. This is now what I did is I went actually and looked, and I found that I did have some glitter. This is let me put the little tab right. So it's my little glitter card from Tonic. So it's really sparkly, but I'm still making use of it. So there is a difference, but I like it. So this is what I intended. A little bit of edge on the black, and then the card top, and a little, and the silver. So I did 2 this, so I have a total of 3. So I've done 3 this way, just because, there you go. And then I did 1 additional one in the metallic because I had already cut the little strips out. So I have the mirror card here. I don't know that anybody's going to notice, but again, the answer to the question of the ages, can you recycle old Christmas cards and make something new? Yep. Here you go. This one, and this one's a little wonky. I'm going to have to, right here, because it's a little off the edge here, I can tell. I will trim that off and trim it straight. It's very tricky, or it's just going to stay that way. Because you know what, guys? People spend a lot of money on cards that they send for Christmas, and they're not perfect. And this one is not going to be either, but it will be handmade. And it's the beauty of a handcrafted item. So I'm looking at it, and I see the mistake glaring, screaming at me. And there you go. And if whoever ultimately receives this sees it, there you go. Hopefully, you know, I'll trim it down and hope, because here, this wraps around. So it's really tricky to trim it, but I think I can. But I'm going to try to fix it. And if not, doesn't mean I don't care. It just is. We are not perfect creatures. And sometimes in the creative process, we, expect perfection. And that's not what this channel is about. This is about having fun. This is what it is for me, is to have fun. And I'm like, oh, look, this is really cool. Because I am not as good as 90% of the card making YouTubers out there. All I am is me. So I find something like, oh, look, that's cool. I want to do that. And there you go. And that's where I go. There, it's like, oh, look, a chicken. Because that's little ADD crafting me. So anyway, these are the cards. Hopefully, it'll now inspire you to go out there and look at, I'm not kidding. I'm not just talking about, a box of cards you found. No, what did you get? What can you do with it? I forget now where they are, but I found quite a few cards that Steve had received from prior Christmases. And there, I set those aside because, again, yes, you can recycle, reuse those cards and make something beautiful. So take that away from this, guys. Hopefully you'll enjoy this. If you did, go ahead, give me a thumbs up. It'll help with the algorithm, so other people can find out that yes, they too can do this. And leave me a comment if you like. I love your notes. I'm caught up again. I'm getting a little bit better and staying on top of them. And if you want to see more of this madness, because Lord knows I'm full of it, hot air and madness, and there you go, then go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell, and I will be back with whatever else tickles my fancy next. All right, guys? So I'm going to let you go because I've got more crafting to do, and actually I'm hungry, so I think I'm going to go get something to eat. All right, so I will talk to you guys later. Have a great one. Don't forget, we are all a little mad here. So come, let's craft the madness together. I'm going to talk to you guys later. Bye!